Hi there folks, Matt Hayson here. In this week's Market Wrap, I really want to unbox this auction market because there's some staggering results which highlight the change we've seen in this market since 2017 through to 2018. Starting with last Saturday where we saw a preliminary auction clearance rate in Sydney at 44%. Now that's the lowest level we've seen in over a decade. Now to unpack that a little bit further, there were 567 auctions that were booked to go under the hammer last Saturday. Now 104 of those were withdrawn before going under the hammer, which is almost 1 in 5, which left us a balance of 314 properties to create that preliminary auction clearance rate on Saturday afternoon. But some further results have come through, so the real auction clearance rate is probably around 37, maybe 38%. Now here's something which is just amazing. The last time that we saw a clearance rate in the 30% area was in November 2008, which was the peak of the GFC. Now prior to that, it was in May 2004 when New South Wales introduced vendor stamp duty. And then prior to that, it was in July 1989 when interest rates were at 17%. So that really highlights what we're seeing in this market at the present time. And it doesn't stop there either. The volume of property that's trading has been absolutely smashed. So last Saturday, $160 million worth of property traded under the hammer. When you compare that to the corresponding weekend in 2017, there was $484 million which traded. Now that's a decline this year of almost 2/3. And also, for the corresponding weekend in 2017, the auction clearance rate was at 70.5%. So it's a really rapid change. Now, as a result of that, sellers have been caught on the hop and haven't been able to adjust their price expectations quick enough. And then we're also working with a buyer pool that are reading and hearing in the news that there are going to be further price declines moving into 2019. Now, the outcome of that is we've seen economists like Shane Oliver from AMP further downgrade their forecasting. He originally was suggesting that property prices would drop by 15%. He's now suggesting that that will be 20% from peak to trough. And we can tell you we are more than halfway through that for sure. We're also reading today an article that property prices here in Sydney are back to 2016 levels, but we would suggest that we're already back at 2015 levels. Now that brings us all the way back to the auction market, and we've been property and auction obsessed over the last 6, 7, 8 years, and we've recorded record auction clearance rates in that point in time. But given the current results, one has to ask the question, is auction really the key selling mechanism to get the best outcome for every property right now? And we would suggest that for A-grade properties, absolutely. But for anything else, we think we're going to see a return to strength for private treaty sales. Now, removing all of that data to the side, what's important about this market, what we're seeing at the coalface, is there is a buyer for every property. There's just a disparity between where buyers are seeing value and where sellers are willing to release their property. Now, in some instances, that's only minor, maybe 1 or 2% differential, but in many cases, it could be 5%, if not 10%. Now, what we need to see is that kind of get a little bit closer together, and when that occurs, we'll see confidence improve, and obviously the auction clearance rate will start to increase as well. But this really is a value-driven market that we've spoken about, and when you get the value right, you're absolutely going to find a buyer. There is no doubt about it. And that leads us into this weekend where we're bringing some great value properties onto the market, and our entire team looks forward to seeing you out and about. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.